Hey guys, so it's way after this vlog has been filmed. I'm dropping in with like no lights set up, so real quick, this vlog is chaos. And so I just wanted to preface this by saying basically the way that this vlog and the part 2 of it happened was I started filming a vlog that was supposed to be just on short story stuff, and I was gonna only talk about short story stuff in this vlog, but I really just like lost track of all my clips and what I was filming, and my life got super hectic throughout the summer. Like you'll see in the vlog. I don't need to explain it because you will see it. I kind of just kept filming clips but never stopped the vlog and never started another one. So as a result, I just ended up with like a ton of footage, way too long for one vlog, but like not segmented into others. So this is just me saying that basically there's not really like an end to this. There's not an arc and then it ends abruptly and then there's a part 2. And there is a pretty long stretch throughout the middle where like I don't write because I'm so busy with another thing that you will see. I was doing like, well, I was writing, but it was for like a class. And so anyways, this was just very busy and it's captured in this vlog and the next one. So enjoy this absolute mass chaos. And anytime I say in this video that it's a short story vlog, that's a lie. It's barely even a writing vlog at points. It goes through multiple evolutions, phases. It's a whole thing. Hey guys, it's Shaylin and I'm here today with the start of another vlog. So I actually just finished off a vlog this morning, but I wanted to start one for just like short story stuff. Short stories are not my biggest priority at the moment. I don't really have any working concepts for short stories, I will be honest. I do have a lot of things that I need to do for my short fiction, mostly editing. And I also do have another project that I'm keen to take on. Well, I guess I do have one working concept because I mentioned in my last vlog that I'm writing a short film for a class. I don't really have much use for a short film script. I don't really have a way to get it made, and I'm also not a very good screenwriter. And so I really think that I want to turn it into a fiction piece because I do really like it. It's going to be really different from what I have done with my other short fiction. It's going to be a lot more genre because it's about robots and it's apocalyptic. When normally all my stories have been in like the literary fiction kind of area. However, I think there are a lot of really cool pieces out there, especially in short fiction, that really play with the boundaries of what is genre and what is literary and just kind of demolish those things and don't really care about it. And I do think it can be really fun to bring in like genre elements like such as an AI apocalypse and play with it in a more like literary style of story, which is really the only style of story I know. Like I haven't really read a lot of like genre short stories, so I don't even really know what those look like. I don't know how people do it, honestly. You write like fantasy short fiction, like explain to me how you manage to do that much world development in like 20 pages. It's crazy. Anyways, people who do that, crazy. You are gods among men. First, I have to finish the short film. It is due on Friday. I'm on page 9. I have 10 to 15 pages to work with as my limit. Later on, I'll get into that being a short story. I already kind of have ideas on how I'm going to do it. It's going to be from the robot's perspective, first person. What I'm doing right now is it's like 4 p.m. on the 24th. I do have some work that I need to finish up doing, which I will do soon, but I'm actually doing some revision for my short story Dramatis Personae, which is one of the first stories I ever wrote. It's actually the second story I wrote. By the way, when I say stories I wrote, like, I count Melting Point, which was like October 2016 as my first story. I had written short stories before that, but I just don't count them because they weren't really serious. Like, through high school, I actually wrote a lot of flash fiction. I consider Dramatis Personae my second story because it was my second serious story where I vaguely knew what I was doing. I am revising it right now just because there's a magazine I want to submit to, and Dramatis Personae is not out anywhere. I have other stories that are like submitted to a contest, so I don't want to submit them anywhere, or they're out and I want to wait for all those rejections. Probably rejections. Maybe there will be an acceptance. That would be so great. Wait for all those rejections to come in so I can submit them to contests, just because there are a couple upcoming contests that I'd like to submit to. I'm usually not a huge contest person. I usually just submit to regular submissions, but Dramatis Personae seemed like ideal. It seems to kind of suit the vibe of the magazine. I've actually been thinking of submitting it to this specific magazine for quite a long time, but never have. Ever since I first found the magazine, I was like, oh, this seems like Dramatis Personae would be a good fit. But they just like never had submissions open. So I am gonna do a quick little edit on Dramatis Personae because I haven't looked at it in a while. I have done quite a lot of revision over a long period of time. Like, I've been chipping away at this for like 2 years since I first wrote the story. However, I would just like to do one more read through and just like finally tighten it up, just so that I feel confident about it before I submit it out. I think there are definitely a couple places in there where it's just like, I just don't like the line, you know? I don't know why that line is still in there. It's survived for 2 years. I just don't like the line, like, just delete it, you know? So I'm gonna go through, and basically my motto is just get rid of anything that I don't love. If I don't love the line, get rid of the line or replace it with something else. Why would I have faith that other people would like it when I don't even like it? That's what we're doing today, is just doing some edits on Dramatis Personae. Hello guys, so it is July 7th, and it's about 3:30 right now. So today I went to Pride, which was very fun, although it did literally rain on our parade. I have since come home, changed into my pajamas, and am going to be spending a very quiet afternoon, read for a little. I'm currently reading Pretend I'm Dead by Jen Beagin. I am really enjoying this. I will probably finish it today since it's a pretty quick read and I'm halfway through. Yesterday I worked a bit on my piece, A Word That Rhymes with Fishhook, that I'm working on, which is like about a robot, and I thought I would just quickly talk about how that's going. I really like the first half of the story, but then I got to the point where it gets a bit plottier. Like, I've already written this as a script, right? So I had my script open and my document with the story open. And as soon as I started copying the script, I just really didn't like it, to be honest. I think the issue is as soon as I started copying from the script, it started to feel like a script and it feels kind of detached. I feel like I lost the narrator. It's kind of frustrating, so I think I have to delete basically everything I wrote yesterday and restart and not look at the script. I think this is tricky because, like, this is a story that has more like genre elements, which isn't something I'm very familiar with, and so I don't really know how to write these like really plotty like action scenes. Like, things are exploding, robots are killing people, and so the first half of the story is very meditative. It's just like this robot basically reflecting on when they were like, starts with them being like activated. I think I just need to delete it and restart. I don't know how I'm gonna go about the part of this story that's very heavy on plot. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna write that. I don't know how I want to approach that. I don't know is what I have to say for now. Hey guys, so I'm just sitting in a field. It's beautiful out today, so might as well film in a little update outside rather than with the same tapestry over and over again. So yesterday I finished the first draft of A Word That Rhymes with Fishhook. I'll admit I'm not a huge fan of it. It's maybe 2,800 words, so it's not that long. I wasn't too happy with it in the end, I'll admit. It's very different kind of story for me because it's so heavy on the genre elements. I don't think that genre fiction and literary fiction are so, opposed completely that you can't write one if you write the other. It's more just this specific genre story had a lot of action, which is something I'm generally not very good at writing. Maybe with editing I can fix it up. It's not necessarily my biggest priority. I'm not sure if it will even go in my collection, to be honest. Other things to update on. I know I said I wasn't going to talk about, sorry, wasps are buzzing around me right now, so if you see me flinch, that's why. I said I wasn't going to talk about my novel, but brief thing about the novel. Completely admit to being garbage. Like, sometimes I get comments that are like, Shaylin is such a productivity legend, and folks, I'm not. Like, I don't think that I'm slow. Like, I do get a lot done. I think I write often, but I am not, like, I'm not infallible. I will tell you what I did, and it's not good. Does it happen to everyone? Yeah. So I'm not mad about it. So like I talked about in my last vlog, I was working on my novel and I was at a point I was really excited about. And then I realized that I was gonna have a workshop submission soon. Our workshop is just like self-organized among friends, so obviously we can pick our due dates to be whenever we want. But still, it seemed like we were gonna submit soon. That meant I had to do some revision. However, I just was not feeling like doing revision because I've been toying around mentally with a pretty big developmental edit that will require me to make some pretty big changes to chapters like 6 all the way through to what I've written right now. I felt like I didn't want to just revise these chapters when I was gonna have to do big revision again when I made this change. If I made this change and I wasn't sure if I was going to, but then I brought it up with my roommate and she was like, oh yeah, that really does make things fit together quite nicely, doesn't it? And I was like, it really does. It's just a huge revision. And so I guess I was starting to feel kind of bogged down by the thought of this big revision. Then I stopped drafting because it was like, I wanted to draft, but I knew I should edit before I draft. But I didn't want to edit because I was being trash. Then I ended up doing neither. I'm trying to get back to just drafting it. The other thing I want to talk about is this related to short fiction. So I am in a class right now. In the class I'm in, it's an online class. It's with a professor I've taken stuff before, but it's just online. And that's the story of the time a spider just crawled on my leg. Anyways, let's maybe not sit. Let's just stand, okay? I guess sitting in a field isn't as pristine as Manic Pixie Dream Girls would lead you to believe. The course is called Revision and Editing. So the point of it's not to teach you to like edit for other people. The course is teaching you to revise your own work. It's very condensed because the whole course is only 3.5 weeks, and so there's like an assignment every single day, which is so fun. Here's the thing. I think it's making me realize that I've kind of gotten a bit lazy with certain aspects of my editing. So this professor is a professor that I kind of had back in like second year and really kind of was the first person ever to really like whip me into shape. And my writing has come a long way since then, just due to maturity and having a lot of realizations. And I've done a lot of things, like I've decluttered my prose, I've gotten way better at clarity. One of the things that this professor really first taught me was just basic line editing stuff. All the things I talked about in my like 18 hacks for cleaner prose video, cutting to verbs, cutting ing verbs, cutting all these things, she would really kind of crack down on that in your work and give you pretty in-depth line edits. And it's a lot of work to edit out all those things. Like for me, the difficult one was to verbs. I've always been really bad at editing out to verbs. And so when I used to have this professor for workshop, I would really put a lot of time into editing out my 2 verbs, and you know what? It made my prose better. Then I stopped having this prof and I ended up with a different prof who still taught me a lot and taught me very different things that I really think I needed to learn. But now I've come back to having this first prof again, and doing all these exercises with her is making me realize that I've gotten really lazy in my line editing. I think there's a happy medium, and I think I've gone beyond the happy medium and gotten into this is just laziness and I'm not trying anymore, and I've not been putting the time into editing these things out because no one's calling me out on it. And I think I need to go look at some of my recent short stories and like actually revise them for these things that I've really slacked on. So my current intention is to go do a cleanup on some recent stories. So the ones that I want to attend to are She Always Kills the Animals, Hold Me Under Till I See the Light, which has gone through a lot of titles, but it's the polygamy one. Hold Me Under Till I See the Light, Wishbone. Because it's not like I wasn't putting work into it, like I was line editing, but I think certain things that I know are good practice kind of slipped my mind, and I need to go get better at that. So anyways, I think that's it for this clip in a field. I'm gonna go home now because I have an assignment to do for that class. Hey guys, I am here to update on the vlog. Why else would I be here? You're very deep into this vlog. You know what we're doing. You know what the tapestry means. Today is my day off from my class. So basically the class, like I've mentioned before, is a month-long class. And so basically every single day is equivalent to a week. Like that's how compressed it is. You're doing a week's worth of work every day. So that's how much fun I've been having, you can imagine. The prof designed the class to have one day off in the middle of the class, kind of like how in the middle of the term you would have a reading break. So today is that day. I've started taking a look at some of my short stories to line edit them. So I took a look at my most recent piece, other than the robot one. She Always Kills the Animals, which I wrote in May, maybe end of May, I think. But it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, honestly. I was like, oh, this isn't terrible. Like, there weren't as many of these, like, glitches as I thought there was gonna be. So I just did one pass on that. It's a pretty short piece, but I do think it strengthened it and tightened it up. So I'm gonna do that with some of my other stories, and I assume the experience will be about the same. I deal with quite a lot of packing that I have to do today because my dad is helping me move on the weekend. I wish there was someone more interesting. But that's just how it be.
Still cannot
guys, it's Shaylin. Sorry if my voice sounds a little raspy. I was at a concert last night. The last thing I mentioned working on was doing some line edits on my short stories. So I did one also on Hold Me Under Till I See the Light, which is one of my favorite stories that I've written, but it is a newer one. So I did find that I made a fair number of line edits to that one. And I really want to work a lot on this story because I think it's got a lot of potential. I really believe in this one. I haven't done much writing recently. I'm having a really busy time. So basically, I'll give you a story of yesterday and then I'll give you the story of my life because you probably don't care. Friday I went back to my mom's place, which is like a 6-hour trip by public transit, to get all my furniture because the place I live in right now was furnished, so this isn't my furniture. In fact, it's terrible furniture. I have a theory that my bed was made as a like grade 9 woodworking project, because that's about how structurally sound it is, and I'm not about to buy new furniture, so I went and I'm stealing my furniture from my mom's place because I'm not really going to be living there much anymore, and I had like a desk there and a bed, and then yesterday my dad and I drove over and we left at like 6 in the morning, and then we moved furniture, and then I napped, and then I went to a concert. I was so tired, and I was sad about being tired because I went to go see Half Moon Run. I mean, I have seen them twice before, but they're just so incredible. Like, you probably really don't care unless you're Half Moon Run fan, but here I'm just gonna fangirl. Half Moon Run is so good, and they're like the best band I've ever seen live. This is the only way that I can force people to watch concert footage that they otherwise don't care about. Also, it's not well filmed. Other people at concerts hold the phone steady. I just hold it in my hand and jump around and hope it looks fine the next day, and it usually doesn't, but you get the point across. Great time, probably one of the best concerts I've ever been to, if not the best. So here's basically what's going on in my life right now. I am finishing up this online course. I'm continuing to move this week. I'm still living at the old house because we don't have Wi-Fi at the new house yet. But I do have to finish moving my stuff over and get the Wi-Fi set up and get a bunch of other stuff set up. And I'm still working, obviously, because you gotta make that bread, folks. And then I'm also going back to Vancouver on the weekend for a music festival, which I'm very excited about. I'm gonna see Half Moon Run again. You ever see your fave band twice in one week? But also, it falls on the weekend where I have to do my final project for my course. That week I'm doing the final move and we have to clean our place, and it's just been so busy. My whole life has been moving. We've had to show the apartment a million times because we are showing the apartment instead of the landlord. It's just been a lot, and so I don't think I'm really gonna write anything for like 2 weeks probably, because that's what's going on. Hey guys, so I'm at my new house right now. I haven't exactly gotten all my furniture in, so we're kind of dealing like with one of these situations. At the moment, I am filming videos for work, hence this. It's so nice. I'm just so excited to live in like a nice house. The window is huge. I get to have a desk. My desk in my old place, I literally never use. You know why? Because it rattles when I type. I'm really excited to have a desk again. Let's just maybe not sit on the desk and break the desk because, you know, it is IKEA. What's the purpose of this update in the context of writing? Absolutely nothing, because I've been so busy moving, doing a bunch of things. I realized that I don't have a free weekend for the next like month. I came here to film videos even though I'm not living here yet because all my camera gear was here. I'm just here for the day and then I'm going back to my other... God, I can't believe I have 2 houses right now. I feel so rich. Literally have 2 houses. It's fine. And then tomorrow I'm actually going back home once again because I'm going to a music... I just mentioned I'm going to a music festival on the weekend. I am a little worried for myself because I have my final project for my online course, and I think we're getting assigned it tomorrow and it's due next Wednesday. But it's okay, we're gonna make it work. In my defense, when I checked my course dates, the end of the course is this Thursday, and so I figured everything would be done by then. I didn't think that we would have a take-home final exam, and I was like, perfect time for me to go to a music festival. It's bad time, but we're going anyways. So I filmed all my videos for today, so I'm just taking a quick break to read for a little. I'm currently reading a collection, No One Belongs Here More Than You by Miranda July, and I'm just such a fiend for this aesthetic. I'm gonna read a couple stories from this. I'm currently kind of on this mission to get my TBR to 0. I realized that I really buy a lot of books. My TBR had grown to be like 30. Feel like it would be a very cleansing, freeing thing. I made like really good progress with my TBR. I think I'd gotten it down to like under 20. And then I bought like 10 books from Book Outlet, this being one of them. So right now I'm on a quest to read a lot, get my TBR as low as I possibly can. Because I would love to get back to a space where it's like, when I buy a book, I read it next. You know? Filming's really exhausting. I just filmed 4 videos and they were all relatively long ones. So I just need a break before I try to tackle this assignment that I have to do. That's all. I never filmed an outro for this, guys, so I'm just gonna end it off right here. The next vlog picks up right where this one started because I never really ended this. I just continued to film clips that went nowhere for like 2 months. So I will see you then. Bye.